Where are the real men? Where have you gone to? And I'm talking handymen.
Okay, but seriously, where are all the good guys? They have to be out there.
So far, no luck, but we're going to continue our search in the lumber area.
Most women do not like most men that much.
Modern women only see value in a man when reality catches up. That's when she needs a savior.
You know, a lot of people say they're going to pick up guys at Home Depot, but I'm going to show you guys how it's really done, okay?
I did not expect for all of you guys to agree with me in my recent video about how hard it is to date.
There's no good masculine men out there.
They say there's no good guys out there, but it's the same guys they keep on rejecting. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Going to Home Depot to look for a handyman boyfriend. Or he can just come find me in the garden section.
All these men deserve like a first-class ticket to hell.
Yes. They need to burn, baby, burn.
I just want to know, where do all the single men hang out at? Are you guys at a bar? Like, do I need to start going to the bars? Because Hinge at the moment is just a disappointment. So definitely not on Hinge. Are you just hibernating at home? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to find you at the house playing cards. Do I need to start going to Bunnings more often? I need to start going to like footy games. Like, where do I need to go to find some nice, eligible, single bachelors or single men that are actually decent? I'm sure many of us single women are curious to know where we're going to meet someone, because social media is not it. My friends don't have friends that they can hook me up with. Or are you going through like a divorce right now? So you're just kind of finalizing those. Anyways, no offense, but yeah. Let me know, because we are curious and we want to know, where do you all hang out?
We're everywhere, but we get ignored. I'm real, so where do we meet women that actually want to meet decent guys like myself? Yes, I want to know too. All the dating apps are a dumpster fire, building their empires. Conferences, trade shows, networking events. Depends what men you're looking for, I guess. Women act like men just gave up on dating because they wanted to. What happened is, these men were forced to stop dating. They got tired of being rejected, disrespected, or treated as an option while putting in all the effort. It wasn't some sudden decision to walk away. It was a reaction to years of being undervalued and taken for granted. Men are human, and there's only so much they can take before they decide enough is enough. Many men realize that dating, as it stands now, no longer benefits them.
I was just talking to one of my friends earlier today, and we were kind of talking about how like girls just don't like it when guys are really nice to them, or like the good guys aren't ever picked. And I figured it out, guys. I figured it out. It's not that girls want jerks. It's that if you're being a jerk up front, we can take you more serious. Like, we're not having to read between the lines. You're already being a butthole. It's more authentic. That's why girls like jerks. We've already got the worst of you. We want to be able to get to the best. If we have the best up front, then what better is there, you know?
Going to Home Depot to find a husband. Walking around. No see yours, please. Spotted, maybe. Me pretending to be interested in this. Okay.
The worst part about living where I live is not only the fact is that everybody is married or in a relationship, engaged, about to get married, and has a family, is that you can't even date. I mean, like, I am single and young. I have my own apartment. You think I would be able to have a sneaky link, a situationship. You can't even have that. So I'm going insane. I need to be tied to a tree because this is just unfair. It's like I can't even really be in my youth and explore certain things because everyone's fucking married. Do you know what this is like?
I don't know if this is some kind of joke, but is this woman really complaining about not being able to get ran through by having sneaky links? This is actually quite sad, because instead of worrying about looking for a man, she's more worried about getting smashed by chads. I guess this is one of the negative effects of hookup culture, and I never understood why women need sneak links or situationships to explore themselves. What's the logic behind that?
Can someone tell me why there's such a lack of fine men right now? There's like a really big shortage of fine men in this world right now. And I'm not understanding it. I'm really not understanding it. I don't know if it's the city I'm in. I don't know if it's a state. I go back in Miami. I was just in Miami. I go back and forth from Miami to Philly. No fine men, but I see bad bitches everywhere I look. Why is there no fine men? And if a man is fine, if he is fine, he's 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". Y'all, if you live in a city where there's fine men everywhere, please, please, I beg of you to put me on. Like, I beg of you. Like, it's tough times out here right now. It makes it so hard to move on to a new man because there's no one better. Like, there's no one better looking.
Fine man in translation, rich and sexy dude, which will simp over her. Good looks ain't everything. And the women who continue to be superficial and picky will end up alone, because at the end of the day, real men don't want to deal with any 304s or boss chicks. Another irrational, delusional modern-day girl that doesn't know what less than 1% of her expectational demands mean. Makeup really put people in delusion. That is really crazy. A man could be perfectly fine in every other aspect, but if he's 5 feet 6 inches, suddenly it's an issue. I love how women love to judge men on their height. By the way, something completely out of their control, something they can't change. But if women get judged on their weight, they say, "You're being a misogynist." It's such a double standard. I think these women are keeping themselves single. Every single one of them think they're going to walk down memory lane and find a 6-foot-plus guy just waiting for them. How amazing.
I've seen a lot of people say they're going to pick up guys at Home Depot, but I'm going to show you guys how it's really done, okay? Now, don't be wearing your like Louis and whatever Prada or whatever bags you have. Because if they see that, like, you know, those like really large bags, because then they're going to be like, oh my God, like I can't even afford her. I'm not even going to come near her. So you want to look a little modest. Once you're inside, you have to act extra lost. Pretend you lost your mom and you can't find her. You want to go straight to plumbing, okay? You're not going to find anybody in the tile section. Nobody's going to help you out there. So now you have the contractor's phone number. So what do you do next? You throw that shit away, okay? Because most of those guys are married. You need to leave them alone.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot.
And how did that go?
And he's not even attractive.
Well, that's unfortunate. Perhaps next time one should hold up a sign saying, "Don't bother hitting on me unless one happens to be attractive. Only attractive men need apply."
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
A person could only guess.
But I'm here all the time. So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
The men are actually there. But the thing that one is failing to take into consideration is that men have been told repeatedly by women not to approach them because that could be considered creepy or even harassing behavior. And the men have been paying attention because since they have no way of knowing what each woman considers to be attractive, they are just playing it safe and not even bothering. So my recommendation is if one really wants to get a man's attention at a hardware store, which is full of tools and possible project ideas, one had probably better approach him.
Facts, to be honest, these days I don't even try, and rather just be alone. Always play it safe. Otherwise, a misunderstanding can have bigger issues. Men are at Home Depot to look for supplies, not to pick up women. It's become that toxic nowadays for men to approach women. I don't even bother. Nowadays, life's just easier. It's only considered creepy to approach a woman at Home Depot when you're not seen as attractive. If the same guy was tall, fit, and conventionally good-looking, the narrative would be different. It really highlights how attraction plays a huge role in how men's actions are perceived. What's often called creepy from one man could be seen as charming from another, simply based on looks. And let's be real, most of the men at Home Depot are just there to get their supplies and go. They're focused on their work, handling their responsibilities, and probably aren't thinking about taking on the weight of another relationship or situation. The idea that they're scoping out potential partners while shopping for tools is a stretch. Most of them are there for a specific purpose, not to be someone's savior or to pick up an extra load of emotional baggage.
Hi guys, happy Friday. Okay, real talk. Does anyone else just have like a hard time dating in their 30s or even like late 20s, like whatever? Is the dating world just a challenge these days, or is it just because I'm older? Because like when I was younger, I felt like dating was so fun and easy, and now it just feels challenging. Does anyone else struggle with this besides me?
Well, this is called hitting the wall, madam, hence why dating is so hard for you. The reason why you were able to get so much attention when you were younger is because your value in the dating market was high. You were in your prime. As time has passed, your value in the eyes of men has shifted, because men typically seek youth, beauty, and fertility when looking for long-term partners. When you were at your peak, men were naturally more drawn to you. But now that you've aged, the reality of the dating market is hitting harder than expected. This right here is how many modern women will end up wondering why dating is hard for them in their 30s. But to be honest, dating is hard for everybody, but it's especially harder for women because them not getting as much attention as they used to is like entering a whole new world. They're not used to it.
I don't like 50-50. I don't do coffee dates. I don't care how much money I ever make. I still want my man to pay for everything. He should pick me up. He should drop me off. He should buy me Ubers. In exchange, he gets to not embarrass me and breathe my air. I think it's pretty fair. I think we're even Stevens. Otherwise, I don't need a man just to have a man. This is for me. For the guys who are mad, though. Cry about it.
If she doesn't need a man, but still requires many things from a man, then she's selfish as hell. So what I'm seeing is a man dealing with a newborn baby that can talk. What's in it for the man? Not embarrassing her and gets to breathe her air. Yeah, she's not a good person. Ha! Now there's the self-entitled narcissist that keep us from wanting to date. This is what you call delusional. I really wonder what man is going to put on a cape and grant this woman wishes. She's not looking for a man. She's looking for a daddy. Basically, your job as her man will be to babysit her while she does nothing. You ever wonder where these types of women get this entitlement from? Well, I'll tell you, it comes from their imaginations. It comes from the illusion that they create in their minds. They walk around with that in their heads, thinking that their presence is enough for a man to invest in them. Basically, to them, just being born a woman is enough.
I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't want children. Where are all the good men at?
This is for all my single people, so if you are not single, just keep scrolling. Can someone tell me why in like modern dating or dating right now, we're talking on apps, talking on Instagram, you're sliding in, whatever, but no plans are being made? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not looking for a pen pal. I'm looking for a husband. So what's going on?
There's no good masculine men out there who can actually help me with the basic necessities of life. And so I gotta do it all on my own. When we get to the extreme of hyper independence, we come to this belief that we no longer need the presence of a man, or that we no longer need the presence of anybody. We end up leaving no room for a high quality man into our lives. Who wants to provide, who wants to show up. Can you set the intention to actually make room to receive that man?
That's exactly why it's hard for these women to date. If a man comes into the relationship and sees that you're already established, financially secure, and acting like you don't need him, he's going to wonder where he fits in. If a woman's attitude is, "I've got it all under control, I don't need you for anything," then what's left for him to offer? It's not that men want to dominate. They just want to feel valued and know they bring something important to the table. The issue isn't that there aren't enough masculine men, it's that these women don't leave a space for a man to be a man in the relationship. Men need to feel like they're adding something, whether it's protection, guidance, or emotional support. But when a woman operates like she's fully self-sufficient and doesn't require that from him, he starts to feel unnecessary. Instead of them saying there's no masculine men, they should work on being feminine and leave room for a man to come in to be a man.
When people are asking where are all the single, good women out there, they're in their home, of course. You're never gonna find us because we're at home hiding. Duh! Do you think you're gonna find us in bars? No. Do you think that you're gonna find us in clubs? No. We're at home, watching TV, reading a book. Maybe we're probably a little bit of a homebody or just traveling the world. What are your thoughts?
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill. Shit.
Why is it so hard to date in 2024? I just don't understand why people make it so difficult to date. If I have to talk about what I do for work, what I love to do on the weekends one more time, I am literally going to lose my mind. And I keep telling myself, ladies, and I keep reminding myself, if he wants to, he will. Make it stick in your brain because that literally helps. Like, don't settle for anything less.
I think that's really their favorite slogan. Don't settle for anything less. What they fail to understand is that everyone settles because no one is perfect when it comes to dating. No one checks off all of their superficial dating requirements. When a woman says that, it often means she has a laundry list of things a guy has to check off: height, income, looks, personality, lifestyle, the whole package. And when that doesn't happen, they turn around and wonder, why is dating so hard? The truth is, dating isn't hard at all. They just make it hard with their unrealistic standards. They've been conditioned to believe they deserve the best without them being the best themselves.
Be honest with me, what is the real reason why you're single right now?
I'm so glad you asked. Let's get into it. So I've been single for a while now, and during that time, I made sure to really figure out what I wanted out of life and what I wanted out of a partner. And ironically enough, during that time, I also moved away from my home. So I moved out to California from New York and was really all on my own. And I really came to find out that there really is nothing anybody can offer me that I cannot provide for myself. I'm able to travel by myself. I'm able to have dinner by myself, go to the movies by myself. Like, I genuinely just enjoyed my own company. And because I do things on my own term, I am really disappointed. So when someone comes into my life and tries to take a part of my time, you have to be pretty exceptional for me to risk disappointment. So when these boys come into my life and act all pressed like, is there another man? The answer is no. You're not competing against another man. You're competing against me. And quite frankly, most of you guys are losing.
Well, we know why she's single. I don't really understand why some women think competing with their man is some kind of turn-on or something. It's really just stressful and incredibly annoying. I've never met a man who says, "Hey, I just finished a long day of work. Now let me go home and compete with my girlfriend." No man is looking for that kind of dynamic. Relationships are supposed to be a source of peace and support, not a battleground for who's more accomplished or dominant. When a woman views her relationship as a competition, it creates tension instead of partnership. It turns what should be a place of mutual respect and collaboration into a constant power struggle. Men aren't looking for someone to outdo them. They're looking for a partner who will build with them, not against them. The idea of "I'm better than you" or "I don't need you" just pushes men away, because at the end of the day, no one wants to feel like they're in a rivalry with the person they're supposed to love. This competitive attitude is exactly what's keeping her single.
They say good men can be found here.
Where are the real men? Where have you gone to? And I'm talking handymen, men that can fix things, men that can do manly things. Where are you?
Where are they?
they're off enjoying life. They're doing the manly things that you think they don't do anymore. They're hunting, they're fishing, they've gone golfing, they're hanging out with their buds, and those things around the house, they've already done them. In fact, they do them ahead of time so they don't become a problem. You know, those things that you all claimed aren't really a big deal, that only take a few minutes here and there. Nothing like having to, I don't know, spend the 3 minutes it takes to load a dishwasher or put a load of laundry in the washer. And now, ladies, after telling us for decades that you didn't want us, didn't need us, you're strong and independent, you can do anything a man can, men have heard you, and they're letting you do exactly that. And y'all have suddenly figured out that, well, maybe that's not what we wanted. We don't want to have to do those dirty jobs and possibly break a nail or get our hair and makeup messed up. We don't want to have to climb ladders or go into dirty, spider-infested basements to have to do some repairs. We don't want to do any of that. And some of you figured, well, we'll just hire men to come in and do that. Only to find out that's gotten pretty expensive now, if you can even find one because they're so busy. You ladies created this situation. Now you get to own it, which begs the question, why are you asking these questions? You already know the answer. The problem is you don't want to acknowledge that you're the ones responsible for it. You don't want to have to take accountability that you told men to go away and they've done just that. And I hate to break it to you ladies, but they ain't coming back anytime soon.
We were looked down on, so we went off on our own, hiding from crazy women and enjoying life. They are fixing the stuff and admiring their workmanship. We don't need the honey-do list that never ends. Working, fixing things around the house, and enjoy life, going out on weekends, going on vacation. Well, if women are looking for a handyman, they can just Google one. It seems like these women are searching for men to take the load off their backs and ease their lives, especially after they've been shouting for years about how much they don't need men. It's ironic how, after all the talk about independence and not needing a man, they suddenly realize a man's value once he's done and given up. It's like they only wake up to what men bring to the table when it's too late. What's even more frustrating is how they act like men are just supposed to be waiting in the wings, ready to swoop in when they finally had enough of doing it alone. These women spent years pushing men away, saying they're better off without them, only to turn around and expect those same men to come and save them when things get tough. It's no wonder men are tired. Why should they step in when they've already been shown they aren't needed or appreciated until it's convenient? They are done.
Dating in your late 20s is so fucking hard because I'm so content with being by myself and I'm so independent. I'm constantly taking myself out on dates. I'm doing all these things by myself that it's like, if I'm contemplating going on a date with you, it's not in competition with anybody else. You're in competition with me. It's like, would I rather spend time with you than spend time by myself? Because that's how much I love spending time by myself. And I think it's so fucking hard because I also am somebody who like treats myself. So like if I'm going out on a date, I'm going to an expensive dinner or I'm going to a baseball game or I'm going to like any kind of sporting event, like a concert, like I do all those things by myself. And I feel like a lot of times when men ask me to go out with them, like if I think that the date is too basic, like I don't want to go. And it has nothing to do with them. But it's like if you're not even willing to put the extra effort on the first date, I already know we're not compatible because I am extra as fuck and I am a woman of luxury.
It just sounds like this woman is going to be single for another 20 years because honestly, what man wants to compete with his woman? Men don't want to feel like they're constantly having to prove themselves or outdo their partner. Maybe before some of these women date, they should take the time to understand the real purpose of dating. It's not about finding someone who can compete with them or live up to some unrealistic ideal they've set for themselves. A date is for building connection. It just sounds like she's trying to build up a man's stress levels.
Where are the men out there that are around 23 years old and ready to settle, get married, have 3 to 4 kids, and live on a farm? Because I can't find any.
Good guys or bad boys?
Bad boys.
Bad. Okay. Good guys, predictable, boring. Next. Absolutely. Okay, big energy. Big energy. Because big can have weak stroke. You absolutely right.
You need help.
I'm not sure why nobody wants to speak up about this, but I guess I'll be the one to do it. There is a serious shortage of attractive, eligible, mentally stable, emotionally available men. We need to get a search party together, figure out what has happened, where have they gone, and what do we do about this? Because it's a problem.
Look, I have said this before and I will say it again. There is no shortage of good men. It is simply that you don't see the men that are good men in your life as dateable, but they're probably good friends. Like they're probably in your friend zone. And then for the good men that aren't in your life, it is because they're not looking to date. They probably spent far too long in a relationship that took advantage of their goodness. Those men are either working, they're either at home, or they're just hanging out with friends or doing some sort of hobby in seclusion. So if you really do want a good man, you better look in your friend zone or do all that you can to put out positive energy about men, because they will see you and they might take a chance on you then.
We are okay. We don't want to be found. We are content now. There's plenty of us. We've just chosen to opt out from the nonsense. We are very happy on our own. We fought and survived. Now we want peace. We in our burrows, gaming, gym, God, improving ourselves and our situation. We have been around a lot until we realized that our good intentions just got us friend-zoned. So we withdrew and forced on our own true friends and happiness. The good men could just be avoiding her, to be honest, because there are plenty of good men who are already dating good women. It's not that good men have disappeared or don't exist. It's that they've chosen to invest their time and energy into women who appreciate them and don't hold them to impossible standards. Some of them are at home, though, or overseas. But these men are out there. They're not wasting their time on women who are constantly chasing after an unrealistic fantasy. Good men aren't going to stick around for someone who's always looking for the next best thing or who refuses to settle because her list of demands is endless. They value their peace and happiness, and they're smart enough to recognize when they're being undervalued or when a woman's expectations are out of touch with reality.
Men need to stop taking women on dates. If she wants something from you without knowing you, she's playing you. I wouldn't even buy her coffee.
Men need to stop taking women on dates.
Get your best friend and take her out of here.
You should never take a woman out on a date that you don't have vested interest in and that you're not sure she has a vested interest in you. Stop trying to disillusion her with your money, your resources, your ability to buy her roses and all that dumb stuff.
That's not dumb. Disillusion me, baby, all day.
What has that gotten you? Where are they? Exactly. So stop doing it. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time. If you need, hold on, I'm not done. If you want to know if a woman is interested in you for real and wants to not just use you as a meal plan, because let me tell you, a lot of my homegirls are going out with you because they are bored. They don't have nothing to do. They're not over the other dude. Somebody else hasn't hit her back yet, so she's going out with your stupid ass. So stop taking her out on dates. Don't buy her anything. Don't spend a dime. Don't spend a nickel. Don't spend a penny. Go somewhere that is free. And if she is unwilling to go there with you, don't go out with her. Talk to her on the phone. If she wants something from you without knowing you, she's playing you.
I agree. That is absolutely true. A lot of these women are just out here hungry, looking for their next meal. What they do is keep a lineup of guys who will fill their bellies on different days, and they call it meal roster. It's not about finding a genuine connection or building something meaningful. It's about seeing who can give them the most benefits, whether that's free dinners, attention, or validation. They string these men along, pretending there's potential for something serious, but in reality, they never had any intention of getting into a relationship. These women know exactly what they're doing. They'll text or flirt just enough to keep a guy interested, give him the impression that he's working towards something, but all they're really after is the next free meal or favor. Once they've gotten what they want, they either ghost him or keep him in the rotation until he catches on and backs out. It's a game for them.
Men who do this are highly attractive to women. What qualities truly make a man sexy and attractive? The answer may surprise you, and no, it's not being 6 feet, having raging abs, or being super rich, so bear with me. I've asked various women what they truly look for, and they've all said something that really surprised me, and it's not being athletic, tall, or rich. One trait that seems to have the potential to trump all the other qualities I just listed is your masculinity. Women often say, I fell for him because he makes me feel like a woman. So when you're able to embrace your healthy masculine identity, that's when a woman can truly feel like a woman around you.
I just refuse to believe this statement. Every man knows the answer is money and being 6 feet tall. Women don't even question men about their character anymore. They question him about how much he has in his wallet or how much is in the bank. It's almost as if the qualities that used to matter, honesty, loyalty, kindness, have taken a back seat to superficial things like height and financial status. We've shifted from a time when people cared about who you were on the inside to a culture where what you can provide materially is the deciding factor. It's no wonder so many men feel like they're in a constant uphill battle. Instead of being valued for their integrity or work ethic, they're judged based on arbitrary standards like their height or the size of their paycheck.
Do you think that women know how to treat men in relationships?
Absolutely not. No chance.
Okay. And that is literally just saying to a man, like, I respect you. Thank you so much for the hard work that you've put in.
Yeah. And I think it's that simple. It's not an overcomplicated question. We both provide and, hey, just say thanks for whatever the hell it might be. Mm-hmm. Or, you work 80 hours a week. From her side, you're never home. From your side, you're like, do you have any idea what's going through my head? I'm trying to provide a lifestyle. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. But it's not reciprocated of, hey, I understand what you're doing for us. It's, oh, you're just doing it because that's what you want to do. You don't want to be home. If he stopped working, what do you think the outcome would be?
Probably not good.
Yeah. Imagine that being in the back of your head at all times.
Yeah.
The part they don't tell you about getting a good man is this. You're going to come to the realization that none of those men ever really liked you. They might have been infatuated by you. They might have liked to canoodle with you. They might have even liked how you looked. But actually liked you? No, sirskis.
This is nothing more than just projection. This is a woman who's been hurt in her past relationships, attracting the same types of guys, and as a result, she's built up this hatred. There's definitely good men out there. She's just been picking from the wrong basket.
All the good men aren't taken. They're just extremely hard to find. A majority of us are left with one of two options. You can either wait 3 or 4 years till all the married get divorced, or you can continue to pick from the clearance rack and hope that you luck up and find something stashed in between the hangers. It's like, y'all ever been to Ross? Y'all ever been shopping at Ross? Ross be having some, but you gotta go through every hanger and every aisle to find that gem. Every once in a while you won't find some fly though. And that's just what it's like dating right now. It's giving Ross. It's giving Ross.
Every woman has a good man that would treat her right in her phone, saved as corny dude. The good men are the ones y'all friend zone. We're not hard to find. Y'all just have too many requirements before giving a brother a chance. It's hilarious listening to women talk about this like they didn't contribute to this problem. There's good men. It's just people are prioritizing the wrong thing. People need to start prioritizing the character of the person.
At some point, even the good guys get a couple bad bones in their bodies at some point, ladies. Because when you were overlooking a lot of the quote-unquote good guys, when you were a little bit younger, you like to deal with a lot of bad guys. And then you get through a couple bad guys, you say, you know what, I'm ready for a good guy, a really good guy who's going to treat me right and everything. By that point, he realizes that didn't work for him. And now he's turned a little bit bad, just a little bit more boundary, a little more stern, a little less, because that didn't work. It just never worked for him. So now you want a couple good guys. See how the cycle comes back? You want the good guys now, only after you've been through a couple bad ones. And the bad ones have undoubtedly kind of scarred you, and I get that. But by the time you decide to want a good guy, the good guys, some of them have turned a little bad. So there's still some good guys out here, ladies. Let me not discredit, there are. But they're in a different kind of good. Not exactly the good you want. Because in your 20s, he was good. He could have been good. But now he's got a couple bad bones in his body. Oops. Waited just a little too long. Yeah.
Women only want the good guys for stability in their later years. Once they've finished playing the streets and chasing attention from the players, it's a classic pattern. In their younger years, many women prioritize excitement, drama, and the thrill of being with the so-called bad boys. These are the men who may give them temporary highs, but they don't offer the long-term security or emotional support that a good man would. Once those years of chasing thrills start to wear thin and reality sets in, often in their 30s or later, suddenly the boring good guy becomes appealing. But by then, it's not about love or genuine connection. It's about finding someone who will provide stability, financial security, and the emotional reliability they neglected to seek out in their younger years. They realize that the bad boys they once craved aren't interested in commitment or providing the steady lifestyle they now desire.